Welcome and thank you for joining us. My name is Christian Reese and I'm the Executive Director of Club 20. We've put together a three-part video series to help voters understand what measures they'll be seeing on the ballot this coming November. The first of our three series is regarding referred measures. The second part is regarding constitutional amendments. And then the third part of our series is regarding statutory changes or changes to law. So please make sure to tune in for all three of those series. First, we'll begin with the first part of our series, which is regarding referred measures. Club 20 is a nonpartisan coalition of businesses, individuals, and local governments tasked with advocating on behalf of Western Colorado. We work on issues at the state and federal level and work to help promote and protect all that is Western Colorado. As you can see, we have a very large footprint of 22 counties, all representing Western Colorado interests. And we provide educational and networking opportunities, just like we're seeing here with this presentation today. So if you're not a Club 20 member, please visit our website at club20.org. So beginning with the referred measures, what are referred measures? Amendments to the state statute or the Constitution that are proposed by a 2/3 vote in the House or the Senate can be sent out to the voters for their input if the General Assembly feels that these issues are too technical or maybe even too divisive for the state legislature to be the final determining body on these issues. We have two measures that were referred to us as voters from the state legislature, and both of those measures passed out of the House and the Senate unanimously to go to us as the voters to decide on these issues. The first measure is Amendment T, and this is a constitutional amendment, and it's called No Exception to Involuntary Servitude. So what on earth does that mean? When Colorado and the United States outlawed slavery, we did so in the Colorado Constitution, but we left one small loophole. Under Article 2, Section 26 of the Colorado Constitution, slavery and involuntary servitude can be used as for the conviction or punishment of a crime. And Amendment T would remove this exemption if this were to be passed by the voters. So some of the folks who are in favor of this measure say that all humans, whether you've been convicted of a crime or not, have certain inalienable rights and should never be forced into slavery or involuntary servitude, even if they've been convicted of a crime. Now, those who have concerns or maybe are opposed to this measure have concerns regarding a lot of our work release programs and even down to some of our partners programs for juvenile offenders and restitution programs for those who maybe haven't convicted a serious crime or their level of crime was not very high. They may be able to be sentenced to restitution or work release. Additionally, in our penal system, some prisons throughout this state allow for prison work as good punishment, as reward for good punishment. And there are some concerns that striking this language out of the Constitution could impact those programs. It is important to note that several other states have taken similar language out of their constitutions and have not seen some of those impacts to criminal restitution programs or work release programs. Club 20 does not have a position on this measure, and I encourage you to read up on it in your blue book and ask questions if there's any technical issues that you may see. The second referred measure is Amendment U, and this one's called an exemption of certain possessory interests from property taxes. This again would amend the Colorado Constitution beginning with tax year 2018 to eliminate property taxes for individuals or businesses that utilize government-owned land as part of their business model, and that would be any value of $6,000 or less that would be exempted from those property taxes. Beginning with tax year of 2019 and every 2 years thereafter, the $6,000 threshold would be adjusted to account for inflation. So what this looks like practically, so it's a little easier to understand, is that if you are a business owner or even an individual who utilizes federal lands, our Forest Service land, our BLM land, for any kind of financial benefit that has a value of $6,000 or less, you would be exempt from paying property taxes on that interest and that use of the federal lands. So an example of what this actually looks like is our ski resorts often utilize Forest Service land to be able to run their business operations, and if the value of that lease or the value of that use of the land is $6,000 or less, they would not have to pay property taxes on that land. Additionally, we have a lot of agricultural producers throughout western Colorado who lease land for grazing, lease land for other agricultural operations, and if their lease agreement or the value of their use is $6,000 or less, then they wouldn't pay property taxes for that use. The proponents of this measure argue that this will reduce administrative costs by processing these very minimal tax levies on users. Typically, these tax assessments are under $24, and so oftentimes it costs more to actually process this than what the county or local government is receiving in tax revenues. And those who are opposed to this measure say that it provides an unfair tax break for businesses or individuals who are using government-owned land for a personal or business financial benefit. Club 20 does not have a position on this measure either. For more information on either of these measures, you can visit the Club 20 website at club20.org, or you can visit the Secretary of State's website at sos.state.co.us, or you can send a text CO to vote 28683 for links to the election information and voter registration. We thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you tune in for part 2 of this series regarding constitutional amendments on our ballot in November. Thank you so much.